Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Steins Gate Zero. It is episode 14 and you know what to do, as always. If you want to see the episode itself, my reaction itself, just go down into the descriptions, follow the link, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, there was a nice episode, a good one. We kind of had the group split in the last episodes, and now it seems like everyone is coming back on board. Everyone is reuniting months later. And yeah, one might guess why. I mean, it is kind of strange that at the same day when Professor Leskinen is back, at the same day we have Kagari back in the mix. But as I already estimated, it doesn't have to mean that it is him who is behind it. It might very well be the other professor, the female one, which we've seen before. So, not sure here. However, we got a new intro, we got a new outro. There's a lot in there. I mean, we had a moment on the grave of the grandmother with Kagari as well, who's then vanishing. I mean, she is part of the family now, so it's fitting. We had other scenes where I'm not completely sure, but it felt to me like they refurbished scenes we had before in the intro of persons standing at a specific position or walking, and then they are now replaced with other persons instead, which is nice. Because it may show that others are going to take the lead. As we've seen in this episode, we have seen that the ones taking steps to doing something, or at least trying to do something, are no longer Okarin, but is instead now Suzuha and her dad, Daru. So it shifts a little bit. Maho is in as well, no question, and she's coming back. The question is, will this force Okarin to do something now? Or is he already on his way? Which is why I took this picture out. He was sitting in this cafe and writing down, I guess, notes about his study and what he's doing. And if you look closely, you can see that he is writing about memory and how memory is stored and how memory is processed while sleeping, long time and short time memory. So he is very, very actively studying and researching for himself the theories of the brain about memory. And there are multiple reasons for it. We know that the Reading Stein ability is memory-based. He remembers stuff, other doesn't. There's the time machine, the first versions he had were simply used to transport memories as short messages, or later on completely him, because he remembered. And the Amadeus system is completely memory based, taking out the memory of one person, additional with its kind of consciousness part of. It's not just the memory, there's a little bit more in, at least in my opinion. So when he always acted and stated as though he's trying to move away from this, to make sure he's not interacting with time anymore. But that's not true. He's still on it. He now just takes a different approach. He's not wildly trying, if you know what I mean. In Steins Gate, he was very, very much just using trial and error. He jumped through time. It didn't work. He tried it again with a different approach, which is an option. But now he is schooling himself first. He tries to understand the backgrounds. In many ways, he is following the leads and the ways of Makise, as Maho wants to do now herself. And I really like that in the end of this episode, this decision of hers to say, I don't have to completely understand what she did. I don't have to read what she did. I mean Makise Kurisu. I don't have to copy what she did. Let's just try to take the same way and see where I go. Speaking of Mozart and Salieri. Salieri never, as far as I know, never tried to simply copy the work of Mozart. He did his own thing. He did his own music. He appreciated Mozart, but he did his very own style of things. And I think this is where Maho is heading for, and that's a good thing. It's a good one. So she tries to do it herself. And by doing so, maybe she will be the solution for the problem in general. We will see. Suzuha and her dad are now trying to recreate this time message machine, the microwave. The compression, it's interesting that so Maho had the problem how to compress the informations and send them through time. They did it with a short message service. Sure, the others don't know, but I'm kind of surprised she didn't get that idea yet. I guess it's part of the next episodes. I realized, I mean, it's like 6 months or alike passing by. I realized that Daru is dressing differently. He looks more chubby in that, however. I'm not sure if I like it. And Suzuha dresses a little bit differently. So she has a different top clothing, while her baggy military pants are still the same. So there is, I mean, it makes sense. She cannot wear the old stuff yet after 6 months. She needs new stuff. Fubuki is in the mix again. I remember that she's the one who is having kind of reading Steiner abilities. It may be. Which, by the way, might be an alternate option for Rintaro. That they're trying to use her instead of Rintaro. Maybe she's even somehow knowingly or unknowingly in the mix with the other party involved, which we don't know much about yet. And then we re-met Professor Leskinen. And that's something where I'm not sure about what this is about. So, okay, he's back in the city. And he did never ever tell Rintaro Okarin about it. I mean, they are kind of friends or comrades, whatever you want to call it, colleagues alike. So possibly you don't have to say he had to. But it is weird that he's there and did not even leave a clue. He was about having him so close. He said, that's the third Einstein. I want him. I really need him for my research. He is so brilliant and everything. And then he visits the city without sending a message first to him. It's hard to believe, you know. It might be, but it is weird. And Maho not mentioning it either is uncommon as well. But may happen that it slipped them. However, he's in the hospital. And it's a hospital for medicine. So it's, I mean, okay, he's doing research on the brain, possibly again, so it makes kind of sense. But he said he needed separate rooms. So I asked myself what his reason to be there was. Maybe we will find out. As I said, I still don't think it is him who's in the evil guy's party, but it's someone around him possibly. So still waiting for the female professor to be the one. But yeah, it's a little bit, it's triggering some nerves here about him. And then we have two more things. So we have Kagari. She forgot or lost the Upa directly in front of the lab. I don't think it's an accident. I think she part-times breaks the how to call it, the brainwashing. So from time to time she drops out of it, I guess, and that's when she may have left the Upa even there, like a help cry or something like that. I don't think while she was there watching them, she did drop it accidentally. That just makes no sense. It's too important for her. So I guess it is she kind of tries to find her way back. They are allowing her to be outside, which is a weird thing for me. She seemed to be so important for the others, for this evil group, and now she's running around in the city. I asked myself if maybe she had escaped. I can only guess here. However, she came back, trying to get the Uber. She attacked and at least partially tried to kill Suzuha, which you can blame on the brainwashing and on the last moments they had together where they kind of clinched with each other. So it kind of makes sense. I'm not sure if they sent her in to kill her, because that would be stupid. Why send in someone that is important to you and that has a personal relationship and thus might have a problem? Why not send someone just to kill her, you know? So I think she was there on her own. She, during this fight, dropped out of the brainwashing, at least for a moment, when she talked to her, when she was held down. And it was the Mama was crying moment, which got to her. So, how good the brainwashing might be, however, Mayuri is still able to break it if just being called, you know, by name. And I'm pretty sure that if she would have been there in this moment, they would have gotten her, and she would have stayed. But now she escaped, and she even hurt Suzuha. That's not a good thing. As I said, it makes no sense that the evil guys send her in. In my opinion, she broke out of the conditioning. That's the word I searched for. Of the conditioning and fall back in. So back and forth. And then we have, and that's now the interesting thing, as I mentioned, in my opinion, a major information which I cannot put in the story yet perfectly. So, Suzuha mentioned that she forgot something. How could I forgot that? It's so important. The Bureau's professor tortured her Valkyrie comrades. So, there are two informations, maybe three. So one thing is the Bureau's professor. It is very likely it is one of those professors we have seen in the vision. In this past and present of Kagari. There was an old grey-haired professor and there was a younger one. So maybe it's one of them. Maybe it's the same. Just guessing. The fact that he tortured people kind of fits into the doing bad stuff description about what's happening to Kagari. Valkyrie comrades. So that's very far-fetched. Valkyrie, I guess it's kind of like a military group that they were. With what exact agenda? What are they or where are they working for? So that's very unspecific yet, but we got like a little glimpse of something to come, of informations that will be important later on, which means that Suzuha was a member of this group Valkyrie, possibly where she got her fighting skills. So it's very likely a group that was in the World War trying to do whatever, maybe about the time machine. I don't know. So that's the thing we had this time. We have everyone back now. I guess Maho will be meeting up with the others, so it will be interesting to see how Okarin reacts to that, because he should be kind of suspicious. Question is how long it will take until he realizes that Daru is working on the machine behind his back, and what he will do then. I completely agree with the Amadeus system. When she said, that's a complicated problem. Do you use or do you not use a time machine? But building it, she would do. And that's true. That's the thing about many scientists and engineers. You want to know if you can do it. Deciding if to use it or not is the next step. In my opinion, when it comes to things that are dangerous, I mean, the time machine is a weapon as well. it is the first step to disaster, always. It is like, I have the theory for a new gun. A new, more devastating gun. Easier to use, whatever. I got this theory, I just want to see if I can build it. I don't want to use it or sell it. But in the moment when you create it the first time, there is the risk someone realizes, and then everything goes haywire. Because someone else takes the gun, takes the responsibility. Because that's the thing, scientists and engineers build stuff. It's the generals who decide if to use. And in many ways the scientists and engineers would say, no, don't use it. But the military commander has another agenda. So, I see the point of Amadeus. Well, we are heading for disaster again. It's time to time jump, I guess, very soon. And we will see what is going to come out of it. We know that Suzuha already thinks about using the time jump to help Kagari. The whole problem with her. So we will see how this works out. That's it from me this time. I liked it, a nice episode. Brought in some theories again that I discussed the last time. The thing about why Kagari was already brainwashed when she traveled through time the first time. So I guess we will learn more about that very soon. And until then, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.